I can't look back, it's too late now. My days are hours and I don't know how, but I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Good morning and welcome to the 77th Breakfast Ball. 77th Breakfast Ball. I'm your host, Bob Cardia, and thank you for watching today. Just like to say, guys, if you like what we're doing, we've loved the feedback we're getting. Smash that subscribe button. The more you do, the more we can get the word out there. Today's topic is resiliency, how to deal with when things go wrong. Let me tell you what, guys. First things first. If you see him around the golf academy, and obviously many of you guys take lessons with my assistant Richie. Richie Stoltz, guys, a picture of resiliency this past week. Like JJ Spaun, I was kidding around with him. I called Richie on the weekend. I called him Joe. He said, "Why call me Joe?" One of the most prestigious tournaments in the state of New Jersey, if not actually the probably most prestigious tournament, is the Jersey Open. And Richie did a JJ Spaun, man. He was 5 over on the front 9, so pretty much dead, right? And then our man Richie battles back 5 under par on the back 9, makes the cut. He's now going to be in the finals of the Jersey Open. So if you see Richie out there, please give him congratulations. A tremendous accomplishment. And I like to use Richie as an example. I mean, Richie used to do the podcast with me, and we'll have him back on shortly for sure, especially with how he's been doing. If you follow Richie's playing career this season, he's pretty much placed in every tournament that he's played in this year. And then, like going into U.S. Open qualifying in that first round, he was winning Open qualifying and had a 2 bogeys late, and I missed the playoff by 1. But let me tell you what, if you're looking for a guy with a can-do attitude, a guy with a positive outlook, who believes great things are coming, it's our man Richie. I'm just exceptionally proud of him. And again, if you see him around the campus, please just give him a pat on the back and tell him we're all for him. I was watching some Eric Thomas stuff. Eric Thomas, probably your number one motivational speaker in the country at this point, and he was talking about your why, ask yourself what your why is and why what you're doing, and that can serve as motivation, and that can serve to help resiliency. He gave the example of James Buster Douglas. I'm getting a little bit older now, but hopefully, everybody remembers this one. Probably the greatest upset in boxing history. Mike Tyson, seemingly unbeatable. He was, viewed as just indestructible. Knocked down James Buster Douglas. Nobody had ever been knocked down by Mike Tyson and gotten back up again. And not only did Buster Douglas get up, right, and keep fighting, but he ended up knocking out Mike Tyson. And afterwards, they asked him about the why on that one. His mother was bragging that he was going to beat, Mike Tyson. Everybody thought, that's crazy. She passed away 2 days, I believe, before that fight. And when he got knocked down, he said that he had promised his mom that he would win that fight. And guess what? That was his why. He went on and basically did the undoable. He beat Mike Tyson. That's the why. Now, you have to ask yourself, a passing of somebody is a life-changing event. Trust me, I know. But, why is it that most people, can't get motivated or stay motivated? As we've discussed, I think motivation is kind of a myth. It's the repetition. It's the putting yourself in position over and over again. It's the consistency of doing things. That's creates a lot of the resilience, knowing that you can do it over and over again in the face of adversity. So again, in doing research, I want to know why people quit. One is purely a defense mechanism. I know a lot of people. The high school league that we run this past weekend, um, we had a couple kids that started not playing well, and the instant defense mechanism with those kids is, this doesn't matter. It's just, just golf and da, da, and they give up. Um, that's the thing. What happens is people tend to make um, permanent decisions during temporary situations. So, like, when things aren't going your way, their defense mechanism is to give up. Your brain typically goes back to positions of comfort. So let's say, it happens in lessons all the time, the self-deprecation, or the belief system isn't there. So uh, just so you know, folks, just know this, okay? Um, Adversity does not discriminate, okay? I hear it all the time with people, why me, why me, why me? I mean, ask yourself this, and I saw this wonderful public speaker one time talking about this. What she basically did was she took her entire audience, which was hundreds, if not thousands of people, and she had them stand up or raise their hands and say, has anybody ever been left, had heartbreak, a bad divorce, a bad relationship, been cheated on? If you have been, stand up. And then they stood up. And then, has anybody ever experienced a situation where a loved one died? Right? Please stand up. People stood up. Then she went into if you've ever been injured, hurt, right? Some kind of physical setback that stopped you from doing what you want to do. Stand up. And then another one, stand up if you've ever had someone in your life who you needed to be the caregiver for, dementia, Alzheimer's, cancer. Stand up. And then just basically went into pain, the pain of failure. Let's say you're going for a real estate license, or you're going for a law degree or doctorate, and you failed some big exams. And by the time she got done doing that, pretty much everybody in the flipping room was standing up, right? So the question you have to ask yourself is, well, why at that point do some people fight on? And why do some people give up? And like I said, I think what happens is people tend to give up, make permanent decisions during temporary circumstances. Because when you look at it that way, as that speech was, it happens to everybody. Okay, it's what you do with it. So today, I saw this on global healthcare. They gave 5 ways to help you cope with adversity. So I thought I'd share them with you guys this morning, and hopefully it helps. One, and this is one that I do, is break down the problem. Okay. So when I first started working out every day, you can look at it and say, my goal was to work out 365 days in the year. When you look at it that way, it's a holy shnikes, man. It's like, you can't possibly do this. So as I mentioned, all of you, I have a calendar that I handwrite every year. And every day I check off what I did for cardio, the strength and conditioning, and the ab workout. I write them down every single day, and I do it one day at a time. And I do it in red because red's my thing. I need Rutgers, but like red and black are my thing. But I do that so I can see it and say, what, got it done that day. And right now, I'm at 149 out of 160 days I've worked out right now. So I've missed a few here and there for my mom's passing and this and that. But the important thing is you have that calendar. You keep fighting forward. 2, focus on the positive. And Richie is great at this. Like he was 5 over through 9, and he keeps telling me about the shot he hit on 10, which it was behind a tree, and he turned to his caddy, Aaron Haverly, who, one of our students, marries the mom. Wonderful, wonderful people. Richie turned to Aaron and said, "Don't ever hit this shot because it's almost impossible." Apparently, he put it like a foot from the hole, made his first birdie on the back. Focusing on the positive, the belief that he could do it. 3, build a support network. Folks, I'm telling you now, like that statistic, I believe it's you make within 10% of your 5 best friends. It's true. You want to surround yourself with people who believe that they can accomplish things. Okay, they believe that they can do things. If you're in a job, a relationship where you feel like you're pulling, teeth to get that person to move forward, no matter how good a person they are, and there are plenty of good people out there, but if it's not in line with your belief system, it's got to go. It's got to go. I mean, personally, I can tell you. I mean, things like that have happened to me in my life. People that I've cared about or wanted better for, if they ultimately are not willing to take those steps to get to where they need to be, then unfortunately, no matter what you do, you can't make them there. You can't lead the horse to water and make them drink. Next one. Look after yourself. Okay. Take care of yourself. Mentally, physically, sleep, working out, diet. Again, we're all guilty of it, folks. But studies clearly show if you do that, you're more likely to have a positive attitude. You're more likely to be resilient. And then this one, I should listen to my own advice. If Dr. Batiste is watching this one out there for me, know your limits, okay? I am guilty of this 100%. I see a great idea and I fire forward to try to do it. The problem is when you're doing 5 things at one time, you're juggling chainsaws. So know your limits of what you can accomplish and what you can't accomplish, okay? And if you decide this is your why or this is what you want to do, put it down into small, chewable bites and then go from there. Anyway, folks, I hope this helped you be more resilient. I find it therapeutic for myself anyway. So if you like what we're doing, smash that subscribe button. Again, if you write I love the breakfast ball, you go into a drawing for a Starbucks gift card. If you're looking at merch, we have it on our South Jersey Golf School website. Other than that, folks, just keep up the fight. I love talking to you every week, and like I said, 77, we're growing each and every week. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. I'll see you guys next week, and take care. Bye-bye.
Glass of bourbon, my bourbon heart, my bourbon heart. Alcohol, because no great story ever started with I'll have a salad.